Welcome back again to Arinka's Kitchen. I have another family favorite recipe that I'd like to share with you, and it's called Bean Beef Stew, BAB MARHA PÖRKÖlt. So what you will need for this recipe is 2 medium onions, and I've used the sweet onions, 2 medium tomatoes, 1 kilogram of stewing beef, 2 cans of canned or 2 cups of dried red kidney beans, 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, 2 cups of water, a half a cup of ketchup, a half a cup of olive oil, 2½ teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of ground pepper, 2 tablespoons of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of vegeta or vegetable base. So what I've done is I've diced the beef into the stewing beef into bite-sized pieces. And as you can see, I've got that in a roasting pan ready to go. And then I've got all my ingredients finely chopped, the onions and tomato and garlic. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to add the olive oil. So I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil on it. Just gives it a little bit more moisture because I'm using sort of like a sirloin tip type roast, stewing roast. So I'm going to add that to that, and then I'm just going to mix that together. This over a bit here, and this is about 1 kilogram of stewing beef. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the seasoning. So I've got sea salt. I've got 2½ teaspoons of the sea salt. That's what I usually use for my cooking. Okay, and then I'm going to add the pepper. So it's finely ground pepper. Half a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to add the vegeta. If you can't get the vegeta, this is MSG-free vegeta. You can usually get this at your local deli. You'd find that more so in a local deli place. You can use your favorite vegetable base. And then, of course, I've added the paprika, Hungarian sweet paprika. It's from Szeged, where they grow the peppers, and they have a factory where they make the paprika. So this is a sweet paprika, Hungarian paprika. And you can stir that together. And then I've got, my mom has added to this recipe a half a cup of ketchup. Now you don't have to add that, or you can use a tomato paste, but my mom, this is actually so like my mom's version of it. She's added a little bit of ketchup to it for flavor, or tomato paste, or you don't have to use ketchup or tomato paste. Then I've got finely chopped tomatoes. So I usually chop them quite fine. And then mix that into the beef. And then I've got some onions. I've got 2 medium onions that I've finely chopped. Now, during the war and that, my grandmother wouldn't use as much beef as this. It's probably be half the amount of that, and she'd probably use a lot more beans. She'd have a smaller amount of beef whenever they could get access to the beef. They'd add it to their bean vegetable dish. I have a recipe for the bean vegetable dish on site without the meat, a meatless one. Then I've got finely chopped garlic. I've used about 6 finely chopped garlic. I'm going to mix mix that in there. It already smells fantastic. Then I'm going to add 2 cups of water to it. And I've already got preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So this will cook. The meat will cook for about an hour at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then for the last 20 minutes is when I'm going to be adding, and I'm using canned red kidney beans, and I bought some really good quality ones, red kidney beans, and I'm going to, I didn't drain off the liquid. I'm going to keep the liquid for it, of the kidney beans. It's got a bit of salt in it too, the ones that are in the can. They've already been cooked. So that's what this looks like without the beans. Now, I'm going to be adding, and I'm just going to show you what the red kidney beans look like coming from the can, and I'll explain a recipe for dried beans, because I've got that on my website, and I'll just show you some. So I got this prepared, and this will go into the oven, and I'll just show you. I will show you the canned kidney beans in a minute. So with dry red kidney beans, you want to make sure that you get a good quality dry red kidney bean. Okay, and what you would do is in a colander, you would rinse the kidney beans with cold water, and then you'd place the kidney beans in a medium-sized bowl, and then pour enough lukewarm water to cover the kidney beans, and then soak them overnight. And the next day in a colander, drain the water off. Okay, and then what you would do is you would cook them, drain off the water, and place them in a large pot, and you would have to cook them in water for them to soften up halfway, and then you'd add them to your beef mixture here that I've just done, and then put them in the oven. Right as you are putting your beef mixture into the oven, you would put those dried, soaked red kidney beans in there, because you'd need at least an hour and 20 minutes for them to cook. But with the canned ones, you can put them in the last 20 minutes. So I'm just going to show you what they look like. So what you have here is canned red kidney beans. So this is the one that I'm using. So you don't have to put them in right away, the first hour. You don't have to cook these as long. So last 20 minutes, you'd add 2 of these. I've got 2 bowls of these, and this would be like a 19 fluid ounce can of kidney beans, and I've left the juices in it. I've kept that. I haven't drained them off, so I'm going to use those too. And I'm going to pour that on into the beef, and then I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes in the oven. And of course, you'd lower the temperature to 325 degrees Fahrenheit for the last 20 minutes when you've added your beans to it. And then it's ready to come out of the oven, and you can serve it with rice. So it's really best served with rice. That's what my grandmother and mother would serve the BAB MARHA PÖRKÖlt, the bean beef stew. So I'll be back to show you what this great recipe looks like. Welcome back again to Arinka's Kitchen. I just took out of the oven a recipe that I've been preparing, and it's called bean beef stew, BAB MARHA PÖRKÖlt. And what I'd like to do is show you what this wonderful recipe looks like coming straight out of the oven, and the kitchen is smelling. You can smell the aroma of the garlic and the onions and the beans and beef and all the spices that I've added to this great recipe. So what I'd like to do is show you what this recipe looks like, and I've put it into a serving dish. And as you can see, there's the beans, and then of course the juices. There's the kidney beans in there, red kidney beans, and garlic, and tomatoes, and onions, and all the different spices that I used. So if you don't want to use as much garlic as I used, like I used about 6 cloves of garlic, you can cut it back to about 4. And I'd like to show you what this looks like with rice. So it's best served with rice. So this is what it looks like. If you want to serve it on top of rice, you can do that, or you can serve it to the side. So there's the beans and the beef, and with the rice at the side, or you can put the rice on the plate and then put it on top of a bed of rice, like that. So this is a great recipe that my grandmother and mother would prepare for their family, and it still is a traditional recipe that is served in our home, in my home. And I hope that you enjoy serving this to your family and friends. If you have any questions or comments regarding this recipe, please feel free to contact me at irene@arinkaskitchen.com or arinkaskitchen.com. Until next time, bon appetit, jo etvadet.